Hey, happy Thursday, Genius Writers. Okay, so um, I said that this week I would do a video on what I'm going to call genius possibilities, but it's really about just a whole bunch of ways you might innovate getting your writing out into the world. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up and right off that I have never been listed as the number one top selling international bestseller, which many people seem to achieve. But it's almost like that's my choice. And I don't do the normal things that one would expect one would do as a writer. So take that with a grain of salt, as I'm about to tell you just a whole bunch of different ways in which I have got my writing and my work into the world, which, I'm always trying to innovate things. And I think what you want to do is innovate. See what it is you want to achieve and then innovate how you're going to achieve that. So, look, for me, when I'm writing books, my books have a purpose of introducing new concepts. Now, whether that's in a how to book or whether that's in a fantasy novel, I'm introducing new concepts. And for me, when I introduce new concepts, I do it in consciousness and then I do it through the writing, usually through a book. I might also do it through video formatting or posts on social media, etc. But I'm taking something that's happening in consciousness and I'm giving it a framework in reality. So for me, I don't care if a million people read it. I'm like, whoever needs to read it will find it. That's kind of my approach to it, which may not be yours. I'm not suggesting it should be anybody else's but my approach. But what I'm saying is you want to find why it is you want to do this and what it is you want to accomplish through it. And then set about how you're going to innovate to make that happen. Okay, so here's the things I have done so I can give you some ideas. Okay, so when I'm writing a book, I usually write it chapter by chapter over whatever time feels right to me. I could write a whole book in a month or even in probably 3 weeks if I just sat down and did it. I would probably do it in a week if I just sat down and did it. But usually I do it a chapter at a time, and that, I just introduce it into my day, write a chapter, then let it go and come back to it when it feels right to. Now, so a couple of ways in which I've done that while I'm writing the book. So one of the ways I did it when I was writing They Call Me Avalon, which was very special to me because it represented an experience I had had on the Glastonbury tour, and it represented something that I was being called into because I love the Glastonbury tour and the energy and the spirit, everything around it, the greater purpose of it. So as I was writing it, I created a public Facebook group called They Call Me Avalon and invited everybody I knew who would like to, join that group. And as I wrote the chapters, I posted the chapters in the group. And then after I posted the chapter, then the next day I would read the chapter in a video so they could hear my voice telling the story of it. And I added pictures to it because I was taking photographs of the Glastonbury tour and Glastonbury at the time. So I just made it a kind of fun, exciting group. And there was a lot of interest and engagement with that. And that book probably sold more copies actually than any other book I've done because I did it that way as I was writing it. Now that's one version of how I innovated it. The next version of how I innovated, I was just writing How We Changed the World. And I knew that it was a legacy book, so it was probably meant for those of us who've been doing that. Just, it was kind of just something to kind of say, this is what we've been doing. So in that case, I have a Patreon account, and I love Patreon. I think it's very easy to use. It's very simple. It works really well. You can publish everything publicly on it. It's easy to publish. You can put in videos. You can put in pictures. You put in what you're writing. And then you can invite people to subscribe, and they can pay as little as $1 US dollar a month, or $25 a month or more, and so you get subscribers who subscribe to you. And some of my posts I put public, and some of my posts I put for patrons only. Now, I currently only have 7 subscribers, so I don't have a ton, but I'm really pleased about it, and I like it. It's better for me than a blog on my website, which was really hard for me to get people to pay attention to. So I did How We Changed the World, a chapter at a time, and posted it on Patreon. And sometimes I also posted it in like a Facebook post, for example, on my timeline, so people could just get a sense of it if I felt it was the right thing to do. So again, in Patreon, if you have people who follow you, that's one of the things you can do, is write your book as you write it on Patreon. And then when it's done, you can invite them to, go purchase it. So, okay, those are some of the ideas I've had about how I write the books and get it out there while I'm writing it. Now, I know that's quite different than most people would do, because most people, when they write something, they think, oh, I have to wait till I edit it. I have to wait till I get it all together. I have to wait till I've gone through it for a while and seen the whole thing front to cover and edited. And I'm not like that. It just flows out of me, and I know it flows out of me exactly as I want it. I will go through it again after I write it, just to be sure. And I might, a couple of days later, review it again just to be sure. But it just kind of comes out as I want it to be. That's Genius Flow. That's how Genius Flow works. You don't have to edit. You don't have to fuss with it. So once I have written it all, and by the way, when I'm writing it, I'm building a Word document, Microsoft Word. A Word document is pretty well accepted by most places that would publish things, including, I do all my publishing on Amazon, so does Centauri. So with Amazon, when you publish your book on Amazon, Amazon lets you do a template cover creator, put your own images in, choose your colors, put your fonts, etc., put your text in, and they will take care of the cover. It's all neatly designed. And then you just drop in your Word document, they review it, you look at the whole thing and review it, and you press publish for a print book. Then also, if you set it up properly in your Word document for Kindle, so in Kindle there are 2 primary things that you have to be aware of in your Word document. One is you need to indent each paragraph 1.5 centimeters. So you can set that up for your whole document in the beginning. You don't have to do it each time you do a paragraph. You set it up in your settings for your Word document. The second thing is, at the end of every chapter, you need to insert a page break. And that's easy to do at the end of every chapter. Because with Kindle, it needs some automatic functioning to recognize where to put breaks in on a Kindle reader. So once you publish your print book, then you just go publish to Kindle. And if you've already got your document set up in Kindle format, then off it goes. And poof, you've got both print and Kindle done. Relatively easy. I can put a book up. Oh, let's see, when I did the last one, How We Changed the World, I put it up in print probably in half an hour to 45 minutes. And I had it up in Kindle probably another 15 minutes. So maybe an hour, the whole thing, maybe less. There's no fuss with it. It's once you know how to do it, it's fairly simple. The thing is, you set up your Amazon authors account, and there's a little bit of tax stuff to do with the U.S. because it all rolls through the U.S. So you have to do some tax forms, which I got Centauri to do. But it's fairly easy. Now, Amazon pays you 70% royalties on your books. Now, you can also put your books into Kindle Unlimited if you want. People pay a fee to get books for free, and lots of people would then see your book. I've never done that. I might do it in the next one because lots of people would see it, but I don't know that you make any money from it. I'm not sure. I've never done it. So you have to decide what you want. Now, that's Amazon as a publishing company. They print it, they post it, they take care of it, then they pay you monthly your royalty fees to your bank account. It's fairly simple, no big deal. Other publishers, now it's different in different countries, but here in the UK, I have generally found that if you send your book to a publisher, they will say, oh yes, we'd like to publish your book if you pay us £2,500 or £3,000 or whatever it is, and we will do X and X and X for you. We will edit it, we will get it ready for print, we will print it, we will get the copies. They might also get it into bookstores, some of them, but it would probably cost you more. Well, I don't want anybody to edit my stuff, so no thank you. And I would have to sell a lot of books to make up £2,500 to £3,000. No, thank you. That's not my game. However, I have friends who have done that, and I think it's worked out fairly well for them. I don't know. I've never asked them whether it did or not. And if you have money to invest, I would say invest the money in the marketing and promotion of your books, not in the publishing and editing of your books. Because once it's on Amazon, Amazon will take care of all that stuff. It doesn't cost you a cent, and they pay you what you need. The key is getting it out there. The marketing piece is the hard part of all this. And there are lots of people on Facebook who do, all kinds of webinars and master classes on becoming an international #1 bestseller, and go, listen to them if that's what you want to do. But to me, the key is marketing. Now, I have a problem with hiring somebody to do my social media posts because I am my own unique style. And it's my voice, it's my energy. I don't want somebody else creating ads and creating content and creating... No, that doesn't feel authentic to me. I did find a company in the UK for £350 who would do a certain level of social media marketing for 3 months on a book. But even then, it didn't. 350 is very reasonable, I think, to do something like that. But that's just not my style. It might be yours. So you could search for people who do things like that if it suits your style, if it suits your purpose. Okay, so other ways to innovate here. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you about? I'm going to have to tune in and see what they are. So let me just see. Okay. It doesn't have to be written as a book. When you're writing, if you look at what the purpose of your writing is, it could be published differently. So let's say you're a poetess or a poet person. You could do an Instagram post with your poem on it if it's not too long. You could do a Facebook group or on your timeline. There's a wonderful guy named Andrew Hobbs who writes and sometimes channels a kind of poetry. And I see his stuff and he just pops images in with it that he gets from somewhere, I don't know. But he writes these beautiful poems, and I always love what I see from him. So it's another way of getting them out there. And I know with Ushmi, who's in the series with us, I've sent her a couple of things about joining contests, if that's what you call it, competitions, to win awards for your poetry. So you could search for things like that. You could look for magazines that your poetry could go into, or your writing or articles could go into, or an excerpt from the book. Take excerpts. I've done that too. I love Canva. Canva.com, Canva.com. It's a graphic creator thing that to me is just wonderful. Has a lot of, if you do a Canva Pro, which I think you pay something like £10 a month, or not, maybe $10 a month US, I'm not sure. Anyways, well worth it, because it has all these photos that you can use, and you can upload your own photos if you want to, and you can change all the different sizes, you can bring in different fonts, different colors, you can put effects in it, you can put the words in circles, which I've just started to do because I like that approach. And I love creating Canva images to go with my posts, and I sometimes think the images call people to it more than anything else. So I highly would recommend that you use Canva to attach to your writing. And don't be concerned about trying to hide all your writing or take a year to write a book before you publish it. Share it. Get people interested, engaged. Let them have some insights into what you're doing. Let them get excited, so when it's ready to launch, there's already a group there ready to listen to it. Now, at one point in time, Centauri and I did print our own version of our book. I'm just going to get that and show it to you, so just a minute while I do that. So we decided, we were writing these two books simultaneously. This is They Call Me Avalon. Okay, and this is Merlin, The Return. Two books in one. And the only way we could do two books in one and make it work like that, where you look, was to spiral bound, which is unusual. That won't go in library bookshelves, and it's a little challenging to post when we did it. But what it let me do that I loved was it let me insert color cards and photos. So when you're printing a book, it costs a lot of money to print it in full color. Whereas this let me do it differently. So I chose a whole 3 different colors, I think they were, of inserts with my photos on them that could insert into a black and white printing of our 2 books together. And we had, it cost us quite a bit of money. We paid probably, I think, £1,500 to do it. I don't think we ever made the money up in the sales, but we sold a lot of copies of them to our friends, and we still have 13 copies here. And what we do every time somebody comes to visit us that's relatively new or we think hasn't had a copy, we give them a copy of the book, and they love it. It's a gift from us to them, and they love it. It's really exciting. Now, we did also put it on Amazon in a print and Kindle version, each of us, for our separate books. But this was something special we wanted to do, and for me it was worth the money. I love it. I'm happy to have it. I don't regret the spending of the money for that, because this was a creation of both of ours, and it included my photos, and it included our love of Avalon. And so, to me that made a difference, and I was happy with it. So there you go. It's also on very high gloss papers. And for some reason, I'm going to read you the opening chapter to They Call Me Avalon, just because I love it, and because I think when you create something compelling like this, like when I first read The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley, it was about Glastonbury. I literally, when I read the first chapter, I could have cried. And it drew me. I read that book, and then I have to go to Glastonbury. It was a calling. And I've always wanted to write like that. And this book for me represented that for me. And I think when I go to open a book, I don't read that much anymore. I tend to watch videos and TV stuff. But when I read the first chapter, it better call me, because if it doesn't, I put the book away. So this is how I started They Call Me Avalon. I have been asleep so long that even in my dreams the memory of the hall where I had been summoned and sent forth were drifting into obscure nothingness. It used to be that every few centuries an adept would come along and offer me her body and being to wreak wondrousness upon the planet, and then the memories of my sending would surge forth. But it has been a long time since the last one came, and the memories are almost gone. I have been known by many names, but you may call me Avalon. I have been waiting for an acolyte, a priestess, a godling, an actualizer of that which I have been sent to do. I'm calling. Are you there? Are you ready? I yearn for this work to be fulfilled through us now. I am calling you. The winds are carrying my name to you. Avalon, they whisper to all who would hear. Come, surrender. Let us begin the work we were sent forth to do. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, that stirs me even now, because it literally, that wasn't me writing that. That came through me. I wouldn't quite call it a channeling, because it was me and it wasn't me, and it was it and it was more, and it was the universe, and it was the calling, and it was the dreaming, and I love writing like that. So, there you go. This has been a long video. I hope with lots of ideas and tips and practicalities that can have you utilize to get your wonderful writing into the world. Oh, goodness, 21 minutes and 50 seconds. I better stop right there. So if you have questions about how to do things, ask away. You know, when the Facebook group put posts in, and ask away. Glad to have questions, and we'll do videos on them if you'd like to help you with it. May your writings flow geniusly into the world. Lots of love, everybody. Bye.